Welcome to LRS Technologies. Today we are going to discuss extension methods and exceptions. What is an extension method? It's a mechanism of adding new methods into an existing class or structure also without modifying the source code of the original type. And in this process, we don't require permissions from original type, and the original type doesn't require any recompilation. So basically, it's a process or a mechanism of adding new methods to the existing class or a structure. Okay, so there are few types of mechanism what we have already. Uh, Through which we can extend the functionalities, or we can add the methods to the class, like using inheritance we can add the methods to the class. Okay, that's one way we can add the methods, or we can provide the extension methods. However, there are a few limitations there. We cannot apply inheritance on the sealed classes. Okay, there we cannot apply that. If the original type is not a class and if it is a structure, we cannot inherit, because inheritance is not possible in the structure. Okay, these are the limitation what we have. But whereas when it comes to extension method, there is no nothing required there. So without getting any permission from the original class or the source code, and we can provide the extension method. Whereas one more thing is that if we want to add the methods to the existing class, we need to have a source code. When we don't have a source code, how we can add the method? That's the one more limitation what we have. So so this keyword is used to bound a method as extension, and extension methods are defined as static, but once they are bound with any class or any structure, they turn it into non-static. Extension methods should be static, and the first parameter we need to use the class and this keyword, the class which we are going to bound, and this keyword should be used to bound with the particular class. And once the we bound the method with the particular class, then it will be turned into non-static. So if an extension method is defined with the same name so we can access this extension method using the um, existing class instance, so we can use that. There is no issue with that. So if an extension method is defined with the same name and same signature as original method in the class, then extension method will not be called. First preference always goes to the original method only. So if we have a same method that we are going to extend add an extension to the existing class, so it will execute only the original method, not the extension method, because the first preference will always go to the original method, right? So it will not execute the extension method. So if we bind parameter with this keyword, then it will not be taken into the consideration, because here the first parameter we are going to bound with the class using this keyword and the class name, right? So this will not be taken into consideration as a parameter. And if we are going to have a parameter, then next onwards we can add a number of parameter as usual, but the first parameter which we are going to bound with this keyword will not be taken into the consideration. So we now need to pass any value when we call the method. With the help of extension method, we can add any method to the existing class or structure which are already predefined by the Microsoft or the framework. We can add any method to that. So that's the extension method. And what is an exception? There are two types of errors we have. One is compile time error, and another one is runtime error. Compile time error, an error that occurs with syntactical mistakes which are called as compile time error. So there are semicolons. Sometimes we miss the semicolons. We provide some wrong names, variables, and classes. So when we compile the code, it shows the compile time error. Then So those are called as compile time errors. This will not harm anything because we must fix those error at the compilation, then only our compilation will be successful. Once the compilation is successful, then only the code will execute. So it will not harm anything, so we need to fix that at the time of compilation only. Okay, the runtime error, an error that occurs not in a compile time but in runtime because of various reasons. This comes at the time of execution of program. This will terminate the program execution at which it occurs, and next lines of code will not execute. This will harm the code or the program execution because this error occurs at the runtime of the programs because of some various reasons. So this will harm the system or the program execution. So once this error occurred, the program will terminate that particular line of code, and then the next lines of code will not execute. It will stop there. So it will definitely harm the system or program. So there is a class called exception. It is a class. Under that we have different types of exception methods that catches this kind of exception, like divide by zero exception, overflow exception, format exception. There are different kind of exception. Using this exception class, we can catch the exception in the catch block. So this is what the exception is. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more videos. Have a nice day.